He finally did it. Old Martin Marvel movies aren't cinema. Scorsese made a Western. Or did he? My name is Steven, and welcome to a quick strike here on Hot Strike. Martin Scorsese is a rather polarizing figure for the boys here at Hot Strike. My co-host Brian is a huge fan, and Scorsese is arguably his favorite director. And for me, I think he's amazing and one of the best directors of all time, but sometimes his films don't resonate with me as strong as others. I often compare Scorsese to a Michelin star chef who I know can cook up some world-class food, but even though I can see that the dish is of the highest quality and containing only the finest ingredients, I find myself wanting to eat something else. Not because the food is bad, I'm just not in the mood. And I have to compare him to another director, or for the sake of this analogy, another chef, who even his worst slop I still find myself loving. That chef is Ridley Scott. Ridley is yet another seasoned chef working well into his 80s who is still churning out new dishes on a yearly basis. And I almost always love his dishes, even, let's be honest, if they taste terrible. Not sure why, but pretty much everything he has done, I have been a fan of. Now, I am not arguing that one is better than the other. They're both icons and staples of the film industry. I just wanted to set the table for my relationship with the master chef, Martin Scorsese. This was the most excited I have ever been for a new Scorsese movie. I am a Western guy. I love them. Anytime somebody asks me for movie recommendations, I just start listing off old westerns. There's something about them that feels so universal, and after I heard Scorsese would be making one, I was hyped. And then I saw Killers of the Flower Moon and thought to myself, that was just a typical Scorsese crime thriller set in the period of the Old West. Now, when I say typical Scorsese crime thriller, that is not an insult. His typical movie is always a technical masterpiece, and he has made some of the best crime films of all time. Killers of the Flower Moon is packed to the brim with amazing performances, drama, and every technical aspect of the film is expertly done. The cinematography was super clean, and it was cool to see some drone shots for a Western town, since that type of shot did not exist for older Westerns. The soundtrack was interesting and linked scenes that took place years apart extremely well, and the editing was masterful and at times a little flashy. So yes, Killers of the Flower Moon is once again a dish cooked to perfection by a master, yet I found myself maybe a little disappointed. I think I just wanted to be more Western-like. It's classified as a revisionist Western crime drama, and the crime drama part of that description is doing all the heavy lifting. Sure, there are cowboy hats, guns, horses, and it's set in the 1920s, but the DNA of this film is closer to that of Goodfellas than that of Westerns. Now that isn't crazy at all, because Scorsese also directed Goodfellas. I just found myself a little misled in what I expected the film to be. I didn't really enjoy my viewing experience of the film, but as I have sat and reflected on it, I can't think of anything necessarily bad about it. It just wasn't for me, and was not what I expected, but it's an extremely well-made film that deserves lots of award nominations, especially the actors. Lily Gladstone stole the show for me. So if you love Scorsese's previous work, you will love Killers of the Flower Moon. And finally, I am going to read a prepared statement from Hot Strike Scorsese fan Brian, who is too sick to deliver it himself. Dearest Steven, I appreciate your willingness to sacrifice yourself over the ire for this take. Our complicated relationship with Marty dates back to when I forced you to accommodate my Wolf of Wall Street poster in our college apartment, which was sick, by the way. So your feelings on Killers of the Flower Moon come of no surprise to me. I think more people should admit when they don't mess with a director, so in hot take fairness, I will add that I find no joy in Wes Anderson's silliness or symmetry. Wait, don't say that, I'm not here to fluff for you, I hate you. Well, thanks Brian. As for this quick strike, I see where you're coming from, and I think there's merit to it. The teaser and main trailer were drastically different in tone, and had even me curious as to what the true perspective would be. I only really take issue with your argument that this is a typical Scorsese crime thriller. Besides the usual suspects and the fact that it's Marty behind the wheel, I see almost no similarities between this movie and his prior commentaries on evil, criminal men. I found this continued departure from his usual form to be extremely refreshing and poignant, but I understand how it still may have missed a mark for you. Regardless, I am a lover of Scorsese's previous work, so this is just another huge dub for the GOAT in my book. Thank you for your statement, Brian. The internet thanks you. And after averaging out our scores, we give Killers of the Flower Moon an 8 out of 10. If you have a movie or TV show you'd like to see a video about, comment down below. Thanks for watching.